So we are going to be looking at Excel 25.2, and this means it's going to be for 25 minutes, and it's going to be twice a week. And we have chosen Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's from 7:30 to 7:55. But we will allow the extra 5 minutes for those who may want to fill attendance or who may just want to post a question. But we want to be very, very prompt in stopping at 7:55. So let's just look at the overview of what we are going to be presenting and looking at. It's all about analyzing business data. When we talk about analysis, it means you need to break things down into its various elements and then begin to ask some critical thinking questions, such as, why is this happening? Why did it happen? How? And this will help us to reach some conclusions. And these are the conclusions that are basically used in business decisions. There are different steps involved in data analysis, as well as some certain skills required to be a good data analyst. We are focusing on Excel, basically because Excel is much more readily available than other programs that are used in analysis. It does not require much training, much high-tech training, just like the others. And it's something that is available on everyone's computer. And so we decided that we should flow in this line to look at Excel, using Excel to run data analysis. So some of the skills required, like critical reasoning and some other key skills. Now, out of the several steps that are involved in normal data analysis, we have merged them into 3 key steps that we will be looking at in this course. The first one is the structuring of the data. The second one is analyzing it. And then the third one is visualizing it. We all know what visualization of data does to what we have analyzed. It enhances appreciation and it tells the story better than ordinary data. So we will be analyzing data with Excel, and it requires that the data be in the right format and arranged in tables. When we talk about tables, we will see what tables are. Most of the things that we work with in Excel, they are rather not Excel recognized tables. In Excel, there are tables recognized by Excel as tables, and it treats them as such. But most of the things that we work with are not really tables. We can call them gray tables, we can call them range or array. Okay, so but the official table are when you arrange your data in header columns. And we'll be looking at some of this as we go on. Most of the business data that we want to analyze, not just here, but every one of us, most of these data, they come as unstructured, or some of them may be structured, but not completely structured. And so in this tutorial, we'll be able to bring out some of the semi-structured and unstructured data that we need to transform, okay, to make them analyzable. So some of the examples of data include videos, pictures, text, numbers, and so on and so forth. We therefore need to do some form of data transformation to make the data align with a format that it should be analyzable. Now, let's look at some of the things that we hope to achieve in this tutorial. Like I said, there are 3 key steps that we have outlined in this tutorial. We'll be looking at data structure, data analysis, and data visualization. Now, we'll be looking at the tools that will help us to achieve those 3 steps. The tools that we'll be exploring are formulas, That's Excel formulas, Excel functions, and Excel inbuilt features. So we'll be able to look at how can we use these three categories of tools to structure data, to analyze, and visualize. So this is what we are going to be exploring. Therefore, at the end of this tutorial, participants will first of all understand the key steps in data analysis as outlined in this course or tutorial. 2, participants will be able to familiarize with the different Excel tools used in data analysis. And then 3, participants will learn how to apply those tools in data analysis. So this is what the structure or the outline is going to be like. Okay, so in week 1, which is this today and Thursday, this week is week 1, we are looking at data structure. Then week 2, we would like to take a jab at data analysis. Then week 3, we look at visualizations. What are the tools used in these 3 steps? What are the different functions, the different formulas, and the inbuilt Excel features that we can use for each of these steps? And then week 4, we hope to review what we have covered. So for the first scenario, I shared this in our group. It's a scenario and has to do with activities. So this is data that has been presented to us. As you can see, we need to do some form of transformation to present this in a analyzable format. So Havron Group invited 37 states from the US to come to Nigeria and support the 36 states plus FCT. Now, each of those states in the US, they are assigned to one state in Nigeria. So that means 37 from US, 37 in Nigeria. Now, a series of meetings were conducted in Nigeria over 3 months, and attendance was taken. Now, as we begin to read through this, we begin to picture what we are going to be identifying. So we have been given the attendance sheet, and we are required to analyze it and present a summary in a report, which the management will use to make certain decisions. Now, the decision rules are, they want to look at the states who attended. 70% of them, those who make 70% attendance or above, they will be issued certificates of honor, which is COH. Then states that make between 60 to 69% will be issued certificates of presence. So management is open to any form of recommendation from the analyst. Now the task is analyze and advise the management. And I went ahead to give us some clues. Say, first, let's find out how many times did the meeting hold when we look at the attendance. From the narrative, we were not given the number of times. So those are the things that we need to find out from the attendance. Again, we need to find out how many times did each state attend out of that number of times the meeting held. That we'll be able to use that to ascertain their performance in attendance. And then we need to find out the percentage attendance for each state. So we've been enjoying to bring in our critical reasoning skills and ask some certain questions that will reveal insights. Okay, so I need to quit here now, and let's go to the Excel sheet where we have that. And okay, so this is what we shared in the forum. This is what we shared, this Excel. Hello, Roy, can you see the Excel sheet?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so that's fine. So this is the attendance. Then I just highlighted some things here. These are some of the things during our trainings. We just bring in very swift hints on how to improve our productivity. Like these emails, one of the things that we were required to do, although we didn't state that in the task or in the narrative, we are supposed to indicate the emails for each of these states in Nigeria. And then we are supposed to get a certificate name which will involve or which will contain this state and this state for this certificate. Okay, so how do we do this? I can generate this email, this 37 email, together with this unique certificate in less than 30 seconds for all of them. So how do we do that? We are going to be looking at that maybe towards the end of this session. All right, so we have this now. The first thing we need to apply, let's see if we can convert this to an official Excel table. We can actually do this without converting it, but I need to introduce us to Excel table. There is what Excel recognizes as table. Like these things we see here, these are not tables. We see them as tables, but they are not tables, okay? So first of all, we can go ahead and apply filter here. Okay, so now let's go to Data tab and click this. We have this. So when we come over here, we see that the entire attendance are just segregated into this number of times. Okay, so in July, based on the date, in July, we have July 2nd, July 16th, and 30th. So 3 days in July, 2 days in August, and 1 day in September. Okay, so what this means is there were 6 meetings held. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have noted that the meeting occurred 6 times. Now, since these people appeared several times, they are unique. So let's identify their unique identities. So these are their unique identities. Names may appear similar, but as we all know, emails are unique. Okay, so these are the 37 states that came to Nigeria, and they were the ones that came here. So now let's look at how many times did each state attend the meeting. We may decide to come over here and let's put our frequency now. Let's say frequency, as the number of times the meeting, each of them attended the meeting. And we can use a function in Excel called count if. So it's going to look, we're going to tell Excel, use this unique identity and pick here, check through this point. Anywhere you see this, you count it as 1, 2, and so on and so forth. So I'm going ahead to click equals count if. This is a conditional function. It's a logic function, which we need to define some criteria for Excel to evaluate. And if it is true, it gives us the answer. So we are asking it to count range here. So this is our range here. And because I'm going to be dragging down, I'm going to fix it, absolute cell referencing, and then it's going to ask me criteria. What's the criteria? The criteria is this, and I enter. So this state attended 4 times. And so I can simply drag down, and then I have all of them here. Okay, so these are the number of times that each of these states attended. Okay, so since we know there were 6 meetings, all I need to do is to put a formula here, a proportional formula, 4/6. I enter, and then I ask for the percentage. Just a minute. Okay, so I have my percentage here, and then I can drag this down. So these are the percentages in attendance for each of them. Okay, so having achieved this, we can now begin to say, okay, can we arrange this entire table? Because this now has become our set data table. So here is percentage. Okay, I'm calling it table so that we can understand, but in actual sense, it is not a table. So this entire, from here to this, we can sort along this column so that we can have them arranged in descending order. Is it descending or ascending? Okay, from descending. So we can come over to our data, and we want to, okay, let's use custom sort. So we are going to sort on percentage, and we want it to come from largest to lowest. And there we go. So we can begin to, we can apply conditional formatting to identify those ones that are in the band that we are looking at, that's 70% and above. So I'm going to use conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is an inbuilt tool that we use in data analysis and at the same time visualization. Okay, so we have discussed some functions, some the formulas, and then also this feature that we are going to be looking at now. So let me just highlight all of them. I'm going to come to home here. Let me create a rule. The first rule, I want to use a formula, and that formula is, I want here, if here is, okay, if we start this, we have just 5 minutes to go. If we start this, we won't be able to complete it within the time. So I will do this next in our next session, but manually, we can go ahead and say from here to this point, we can change this to green as saying that these ones have met the condition for 70% and above. Now here we have this. Let's give it a different color. But these are the things that can happen automatically. Even if you change the figures, they can still happen. And then the rest. So this is what the management is looking for. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for certificate of honor. And what was the other one again? Let's look at our valid decision rule. States that make between 60 and 69 will receive certificate of presence. Okay, so between here and here, they have certificate of presence. So we can still go ahead and calculate how many, what's the percentage of these states that met COH? What's the percentage of states that met the COP? Okay, so these are some of the analysis that we can run. Now, if we look at this point, is there any decision that management is not willing or has not decided to make that we can advise? That is left to your own discretion. You can use this and say, well, there are a few more who had 50, if this can be considered or something, where that is left for us. So finally, let me just look at this point here to create automatic email and their names. So what we want to do is, you can see here, this is Indiana at Havron 360 org. This is Colorado at Havron 360. So the emails have the names of the state. and then the email extension. We can do that. And like I say, it's something I can do for these 36 states in less than 10 seconds. We use flash fill. This is a feature available in Excel from setting, I can't remember if it is 2017 or so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to type something or put a formula here, because here, from the beginning up to where I am typing, there is no break. And so Excel is going to intuitively see what you did and duplicate it downward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Enugu at Havron 360.org and enter. So right now that I have typed this, Excel has intuitively deduced what I did. And if I want Excel to duplicate what I did down to the end of the row, all I need to do is to hit Control E. Control E for elephant. So I'm going to hit Control E. You see everything down has duplicated. I do not need to type them gradually. Everything, if assuming you had 1 million rows, it would happen in a flash. And that is why it's called a flash fill. So for the certificate, assuming as an analyst, I said, okay, I want to get a unique name for the certificate. So all I can do is, let's say I want to join Indiana and Enugu. So I can say Indiana. You need to be sure that you didn't make any mistake, so that what you are typing correlates with something that is appearing within the environment you are working. So if I like, I can say Indiana and let's say and Enugu, enter. If this is what I want, I can go ahead and hit Control E, and then it duplicates every other one. It comes here, picks here, and adds the emphasis sign, and then come over here and picks that and duplicates this. Okay, so this is what we have for today. On Thursday, we will continue with other session of the program. So we will open up for discussions now. So you can raise your hand and we can call you to
Please,
speak.
can we take attendance?
Okay, I think he has shared the attendance. Please just follow the link and then submit your attendance. We will use your details to send out other details like files that they link, and then we'll be able to relate more. So, but we can leave that till after this session ends. We will still allow this meeting to be on so that you can still have access to the chat box, and then you can fill the attendance. So right now, let's see those whose hands are up. I think the first person is Yoms Ishaku. Please unmute and speak. Hello, Yoms. Your hand is up. You can go ahead and speak. Am I audible?
Please let him know you have to unmute before speaking. You may not know.
Please unmute. I have given
Sorry.
him. Okay, good.
Sorry, everybody. I've just been struggling with my handset. I just want to appreciate the team for this wonderful time and opportunity given to us. And I sincerely appreciate the flash exercise, yes, which is something I've been looking onto. Thank you. Over.
Thank you so much, Ishaku. Yoms. Okay, we do not have any other hand up. Okay, so in the absence of any other question, we want to appreciate everyone's time for joining us. And we look forward to meeting again on Thursday. And then also, if you have questions, you can post it in the WhatsApp group. We will respond. And like we encourage everyone, it's a community. Everyone that uses Excel, there is something you will know that others don't know. So go ahead and attempt and respond, while we also learn from everyone who will be contributing. So thanks once again. The meeting will still be on so that you can access the chat box and then fill your attendance. So for the next 10 minutes, the meeting will still be on while we fill the attendance. Thank you and see you on Thursday.